Good evening. It's Norma Cowie here, and I'm live for the next little while to do mental mind treatments. If anybody saw my Sunday's talk, do you think I could get mental mind treatments out in an effective way? So I always like to do a little talk as we go in before people come in and start requesting. I have a few on my sheet here that I want to do for friends and myself and things. And if you haven't seen this program before, it was something that was at the back of my mind to begin to do, because prayer, and this is a form of prayer, isn't always talked about. And usually, if it is, it's in a very Christian setting. And this is not in a Christian one, but it's a spiritual one. And that's how I learned it, was through a spiritual center that I attended to like a lot of years. And that I'm a psychic. And even when I'm doing mental mind treatments, which I call them because I didn't learn them as that, I find I get images or I'll get a sense coming through. And so I incorporate that in my mental mind treatments. And I often do it with my clients because it's a helpful thing. And it has parts in it. Actually, every now and again, I will do a little workshop on teaching how to do them. But it's really about knowing how to do them and what is required. And what is it really? It's about making contact with the universal love force and requesting a desired result. And sometimes those results don't come through exactly like bang on, here they are, run, rah, rah. Sometimes it's like creating the thought form, because that's what we're doing. We're creating thought forms. Now, we create thought forms every day that we think. Thought forms go out and form thought bubbles. And then the thought bubbles get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then they begin to manifest into the material world. But you see, very often for us humans, what we do is we think of something that we want or would like to have for a little while, and then we get carried away with everything else. We go all over the place. So the universe is going, oh, I thought they wanted that. Now they're wanting this. And so there's a lot of confusion in the world, because one of the reasons is because of that. The other thing is, when you do want something, as you will notice, is how much energy you put behind it. And so when I'm doing these treatments, I'm concentrating. I'm not thinking of anything else. I'm not thinking of my water or my phone, which, by the way, I have not turned off yet. I've done that now. I'm not thinking about my tarot cards or my recorder or my pens. I'm just thinking about the words I'm saying and the objective. Now, I do have to read about what it is that you want, but anybody, and this is the one thing I found, I'm getting a lot of views on it. And I don't know if it's just a few people, excuse me, I still haven't quite got totally rid of my cough in my throat. I don't know if people are just going back and re-listening to theirs. I don't know if or what, but the views are pretty consistent, and go with my Sunday thought or my Wednesday Norma talks. So that part makes me really well, but it's really people coming in to ask and request treatments right now, because we need those. And so I'm going to go to my dear friend Karen here. So I'm going to read out what she says. You probably can read it, but the only way I can do it is grin it. And I always have to kind of peer, because it's the printing isn't as big as I would like. I would love a treatment for a long-term friendship, not a relationship, but a friendship that has run its course. Oh, okay. It's run its course. So that it wraps up gracefully. Oh, great. I can see that. And now I remember of other treatments that we've done. So I just want to make a little note of this here. So Karen, and so what we want is a an ending, really, that on good terms. I would say that I like to have a picture so I know where I'm going. Ending on good terms. Okay, let's see. Let's get going. So you just align your mind with mine, and I'll align myself with this beautiful love force. And so as we move into that, I speak my word for Karen. And as I speak my word for Karen, I know that in the lovingness of all things, that there are, yes, there can be beginnings and endings, but it's as though the essence of friendships, of the essence of relationships, no matter what kind they are, sometimes things run their course. And we need to know that as things run their course, it ends or it comes to a natural ending. It's like a dwindling away. I see a picture of a sort of a sand dune coming down into the beach. And the sand drifts down onto the beach and then eventually into the water. And we know water is really healing. And it's like allowing it to take its own time so that it's graceful, so that it is easy and it's natural, not trying to stop the sand from coming down. In other words, not trying to stop the relationship, just naturally winding down or becoming, taking on a little a variance. Actually, it's a different shape because as it slides down the sand hill and it joins in with the beach, it has a whole different process. It has a whole different way. So the friendship may still, it'll just change. It'll be changed in its intensity. And I think it's just a matter of allowing the natural decline, allowing the natural shift. And so I know, and I know for you that this natural shift, this natural decline in the relationship, or as you said, friendship, it was me that said relationship, but all our friendships are relationships as well. So this natural decline makes space. It makes a lot of space in your life for different friendships, for different relationships to come on in. And what I see is like, it's funny. My eye draws to the sea, and the sea rolling in, lapping, not like rolling in with breakers, but lapping in gentle waves, and the sun shining, saying, and it's like, it's your time. This is your time. So let go, allow things to be so it creates space in your life so something new can come on in. And because I know there is a shifting of the guard, so to speak, because I can see by letting go, it makes space for newness. I give thanks. I give thanks by saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And as this thought is released for Karen, knowing that in letting go, it is gentle, it is easy, and it's just like a little decline and creating space for new and wonderful, wonderful things. And, anybody that has a relationship that kind of has maybe feel a little confining, it's a good way of just thinking about that it is a wonderful shift and a change as things move forward in the direction of where they want to go and what they want to do. Now, while we've got a little moment more before somebody else puts up what they would like a treatment for, I'm going to give a treatment for myself. Some of you are aware, since the beginning of April, I came down, and who knows exactly what, and I just got being left a little bit of sinus, and which drops down on my throat, which goes a little. But in fact, I was speaking to a friend today on FaceTime, and she said, "You are looking really well," because she keeps tabs on me, and I said, "Well, I'm feeling so much better." But yes, yesterday was Sunday. Yes, on Saturday morning, sorry, I can't even get the time of the day right. I did a small workshop on just a couple of hours talking about how we freeze in space and time. And I'm going to go more into that on Wednesday, because I think it's a very important thing that we forget of what happens there. And anyway, and so yesterday I had a long sleep in the afternoon. So I woke up feeling quite refreshed in many levels and many ways. And today I worked on my computer, bringing the book actually that talks about the frozen. Just I felt I had to do it because I wanted the people who took the workshop with me. I want to send them a copy of that so that they can. But I had to do a little bit of, you might say, taking care of that. So I'm just going to give a little treatment for myself. And this is what I do. I go, I know there's one power and there's one essence, and I know I'm connected to this power and essence. And this universal love force is within me, around me, supports me, and loves me. And therefore, I know that on the health, that anything is blocking, restricting, stopping my health, my well being in my body, my physical body, my emotional body, my mental body, my spiritual body is released and filled with the loving support and spirit of the divine loving force that's there. And I invite that in to bring to me any awareness that is creating the blocking of my health and blocking of my, as I said, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual element of myself, because all of those can create blocks that manifest physically. And we want them cleared. And I know that there is a power that can totally eradicate and bring about health and healing on all levels. And that even though I may have needed to have a little bit of a rest, that now I'm looking forward to all that is coming. And I give thanks. I give thanks in knowing that the universal love force is there for me. I give thanks in knowing that my physical, emotional, and mental, spiritual bodies can clear anything that restricts that wonderful physical health. That as I move forward, that the people that I need to know about, the people that can help with the various things that need helping with, are brought forward. And in being forward, I can embrace that and I can learn from that and I can be for that. And for that, I give thanks. And I say, thank you, thank you, thank you, as I know I'm growing stronger and more at peace and more at wonder. And I just feel thank you, because it's like a joy, it's like a joyous bubble rising in my heart and coming out in the wonder of life. And the sun came out late today. We've had some rain and cloud. It's been a little cool. And the sun came out. And I remember I was reading where it says, promise warmer temperatures by the weekend. Well, we're only, what are we, Monday? The weekend's a wee ways away. But it's nice when the sun comes out and you can feel the warmth and you can feel life and you can feel all the beauty that is there in many, many ways. So that, that is really, really good. Okay, I'm going to do another treatment for a friend of. I was looking at actually some of my friends, and so many of us have health issues of some kind. And I've got people. It's amazing. So you know what? Rather than going bit by bit by bit by bit, I've got a sense of really a couple of my friends and a niece of mine who's not well right now. I'm going to sort of bundle them together because I know them all personally. I have my own little thread out there, you might say. And I can spread this out to anybody that is not feeling the best, whether it is emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's spiritual. Some people don't know what's the matter. And with what's been going on in the world, a lot of that has to do with our spirituality, is that it's not being fed. We don't feel connection. I've had a visitor actually come and stay with me for a few days on a friend of mine, longtime friend of mine, as she travels. And it just brightens everything up, and I wasn't feeling that great before she got here, and I was feeling much better by the time she left. on her journey. And so I'm just going to bundle these wonderful friends of mine into a nice little barrel, and including my niece. And and this is going to be a kind of a group. And so if you want to join in, part of the group experience, feel welcome that the energy is there. Just follow the words as you listen to the words, I should say, as I say them. Knowing there's a power in this universe for anyone who is not feeling together at the moment, whether it'll be something that's physical that just feels draining and you don't know what to do with all those little things that come up in your throat and your nose and your chest and just general tiredness. Or if you are just generally feeling that you're befriended emotionally because that what you're wanting emotional support in your life isn't there, and it's like it's disappeared somewhere. Or if you're having the mind, you can't stop the mind. There's so much busyness. Oh my goodness, trying to sort everything else and feeling that you have to figure it out. And then there is, of course, the emotionality of being aware of certain things that just feels us that all upset, not knowing which way to go and what to do and how to do it. Could be anything, but mostly we find the basic level of our physical, which is affects our health, our physical level, our emotional level, which also can affect our health, the mental level, which can affect both the emotional and the physical level, and the spiritual level, which can affect them all. We want harmony. Now, I know this great love force that exists. I work with it all the time. And it has brought me over the years great solitude and awareness because I recognize what I call light, which is equal to love. When I bring the light and love into myself, whatever level it is, it gets and feels better as I let go. The resistance as we hang on. I know sometimes I do that mentally. I hang on to, oh, my cough, oh, my this, oh, my that. I've got a pain because I do have pains that run around my body sometimes. And mostly it doesn't. But when it comes, it's like, oh, that's so sore. Why is it so sore? And it's almost like you forget that there is this wonderful loving force that's willing to take it. You just have to acknowledge it and let it go. And knowingness on every level, no matter who and what we are, the people I know, people I don't know, it's like a ripple of love that moves out into the world. It's a ripple that says, all is well. Trust you. Trust this loving force. Align with the loving force. And I know as we align with the loving force, as we let go, whether it be a physical, a mental, emotional, a spiritual, thought patterning, feeling, or whatever that's blocking wellness, happiness, enjoyment, all the feelings that give us life, and these blocks that we have, we just hand over. And the light takes them and transforms them. We let go of our need to hold on. We let go of our need and our minds to explain this is why this is happening. Or we let go the feeling that somehow or other we just got to hold on to that pain a little longer because somehow that pain will just naturally recede. Time does heal, but it's nice if you go, I don't need this anymore. I can let the emotional pain go. I can let the mental worry and torment go. I can hand it over to the natural loving of the universe. I can just let it be. And my physical self can become into peace and harmony and a sincerity which goes beyond all things. And most importantly, I let go of my beliefs that stop me from knowing there is a spiritual loving force that is there for me. I just take a deep breath and I let go all of the blocks. There is only blocks gone. There is only an awareness and an understanding of that. And so I give thanks. I give thanks in knowing I can breathe out from any level within me, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, or anything else, whether it is to do with me or the world or other people. I can breathe it out into the trust and the love and the transformation of the world through this divine loving force. And in knowing that, I let go and I say unto that force, into that force, thank you, thank you, thank you, as I'm filled with gratitude, knowing that these elements that myself and anybody else who is stuck can let go. And the knowingness coming inside, so the letting go becomes easy as it moves forward. And so within my gratitude, I know that it is done and that I am free and I am at one with all that there is. So, and so it is, which I am very thankful for. Okay, I see there we have one coming in called Laurie Bradley. Sorry. Oh, sorry, I don't usually use the second name. I apologize for that, Laurie. Oh, thank you, Norma, for all that you do. And then Karen comes in. Sorry, I thought you had an actual request, but thank you. I appreciate the gratitude. I really, really do. Uh, and then Karen again, can you do a group protection? Oh, here we go. It's one of my big bugaboos. A protection treatment so we don't allow so much unnecessary energy into ourselves. That's a whole different story. And personally, I believe if you feel the need of protection, you must create something on the outside to protect from. When it comes to the absorbing of other people's energy, I have a technique called an energy release that works for thoughts, feelings, and other people. I have a download for that, and you can get that. And so I don't do prayers for protection because that is just reinforcing your belief that the world is an unsafe place because it comes from you. If you agree and believe you create your reality, why are you recreating things that you need, quote unquote, protection from? If you are taking on other people's energy, and believe me, most of my life, that's what I've done. And that's why I had to learn. And I was very grateful of being taught, first of all, the energy release method. But I was already practicing some other things because I realized you can't be an absorber and take everything on and be, because all it does is kind of, the expression is gum everything up. It's like the lint in the dryer. It is like the things that clog the drain. It's other people's energy and thoughts and feelings. If you take them on, you don't need protection from them. You need to excuse the expression, but you need to smarten up. You need to realize your core is is radiant. If you're more how do I want to say this? Connected to the light, which is love. The more you are connected to the universal love light, and the more you strengthen that inside, nothing can get in. A lot of that has to do with your aura. And I know you listen to my Wednesday Norma talks at times. You will hear me say, you can, bring that aura in. I can send you information on that if you need, because I've done a number of talks on the aura. You need to have your aura in close or tight. If you've got it floating around, I'm going to push my hands here, but if you have it floating around out there, goodness knows what it's picking up and bringing it into your system, that if you are like I was, you turn it in and don't know if it's yours or somebody else's. Now, if I have a shift in energy, which can happen, I'll go right away. Is this mine or someone else's? And 99% of the time, it's somebody else's that I picked up, because either I've had my aura too big at the inappropriate time, or I just let it take, I empathize. So I'm a bit of an empathizer and I can take it on that way. But it's learning how to I naturally train my body, just release and let go and concentrate. But to concentrate on that equal element of who you are. So in my mind, I can do a prayer, trying a mental mind treatment, which I will do if I'm talking, of strengthening your connection, strengthening the element of who you are, so that you are cognizant when something comes in that's not yours, so that you can let it go. So let's do that. So again, for Karen and anybody else that knows they're an absorber, as I touch into the beautiful knowingness of the one power and one essence that just is love, I know that for Karen, that anything that comes into her system is that she becomes aware of it, so that she asks, is this mine or somebody else's? And if it's someone else's, she breathes it out. That she lets go and lets the divine loving force inside of her think and be. That the aura comes into where it's appropriate, that strengthens her. So nothing can really get in, because she becomes a powerhouse of herself. That the essence of her knowing that she is loved without measure, and to accept responsibility of creating her reality, of creating what is going on. There is love, there is light, there is essence in all things. I give thanks and knowing that Karen and Annie and everyone else that needs to discovers their power, not power over, not power under, but power with the great loving force that is here for us to bring inside and fill up all the gaps, so other people's energy can't get in, because you're just full, and you're like a beautiful candle. Here you are, radiating light and love yourself. I give thanks in the knowing of this. I give thanks in knowing that everything is light, everything is bright, and it's all as it needs to be. And so I release this thought, knowing it is true, that Karen and anybody else that listens and takes this knows that in their power of being through love and strengthening their belief and knowingness of all that there is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is, and amen. Okay, all right. Now I have one other one that I'm just looking here. Yes, one other, what's that one I've got there? Right. One other one that I want to do for a friend of mine. And if there's nobody else coming on to request, then my half hour will be up, and I will be, saying goodnight. I will go longer if there are people here, but if not, half an hour. I figure half an hour of this, and when people really begin to see, and when we will go full hour. But that's okay. Okay, just one more here. And a lot of you might like this one, I think, because very often we want to manifest something into the physical world that we've had in our minds, and we have desired it. We want it. And I hear a lot of stories about where people want something, and then they decide how it's going to show up. And one of my comments is we hand it over because we never know how it's going to show up. All we need to know that it will. And very often we get so in our heads that it's going to come this way or that way, because people tend to want to control their environment. So I'm just going to give us this treatment for an unnamed friend who knows who she is. I know there is one power in the one essence, and I know that in the desire of having what we will call our supply, is that sometimes we forget that in the law of love, it creates for us, and that it will bring what is required into physical form so it can be manifested, and that people and my friend can do that which she wants to do and has wanted to do for a long time, but it hasn't been manifesting. And so now all blocks, every restriction, we clear, we let go. And I see a grader just grading away all sorts of obstacles all over the place. I'm back at the beach with a tractor grader grading away the sand, getting it right down to the basics. No more sandhill, just pure openness to allow the supply that is required to do what my friend, nameless friend, wants to do can manifest. It's like clearing the decks. It is like letting go of how, what, when, and where. It's just moving into knowing it will be in physical manifestation. And however long it takes for what I call the great computer in the sky to put it together, it will be. It will manifest physically. Probably the least you expected in a totally different direction. I give thanks in knowing that the universe is working. I give thanks in knowing that the unexpected happens. I do give thanks in knowing that the supply that is required is manifested physical in ease and grace. No matter how it shows up, it will be gratefully received. And so I say, thank you, thank you, thank you, and allow the manifestation of everything that is required. And so I release this thought, knowing it is true for my friend and anybody else that wants things, that it can be done very easily. Just let go of your need to control the how, what, when, and where, and trust that beautiful, beautiful, loving energy to bring it to you so it clears and allows it all. Thank you. Just a moment. I was going to close, but I see that Laurie has given me a little rundown here. It says, please, Norma, can you help my brother's pain from his perception of our relationship? She said, I blame myself. I was going to say, this is not for your brother. This is for you, so you can let go to heal. So, okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Divine Essence, Mother, Father, Son is one. I am doing this beautiful mental mind treatment for Laurie. And I know that as Laurie takes that blame and surplants it with the love of the universe, when she lets go, whatever blame, which will be mental and emotional for sure, to let that go, then the spiritual love can come in and the knowingness. How the brother wants to handle this, what I found in experience, that they'll change when you change. They're not going to change until the energy changes. But imagining now how you can do this is this way, a little bit of teaching in here. Find a color that you love in your mind's eye and feel how it feels. What I always ask my clients when I'm doing a similar exercise, I'll say, give me 3 feeling words. And what we want is really nice, what we call words that really support. They could be warm, it could be strong, it could be beautiful, it could be many things like that. Anyway, and then what you do is you let your pain, let it come in and take your pain away. Now, energy is energy. So it's like my glass of water here. You can see some is gone. But if I want to let go, I have to drink or throw down the sink all this water in order for it to fill up with air. But you're filling up with love from the universe. It's allowing that. And the color always has love in it. Doesn't matter what color you choose, but you're looking for love. You're looking for the love. And then you bring it in, and no kidding, it's like a little Pac-Man. It will chew it up, all the pain. It will chew up everything that you feel guilty or regretful or anything else. It will take that pain. And that means there's space then for your brother to make a shift or not. And that's the thing you have to expect. You can't expect right away sometimes. But you can be relieved of your pain. We all have relationship issues. We all feel sad because of something we've said. Me, we all, and I just go into the power and give up and Somehow or rather, everything always works out. I want you to know that you're loved beyond measure, and it's only you that keeps separation. If you can let separation go, what you will find is that others will also let you back in, because right now you're keeping it. It's like you're pushing away because you feel the pain. And so then you see the pain and feel the pain, etc. So you just create more pain. So the king is, let the light take the pain. Let it transform it into itself inside of you, wherever it is. I use the Pac-Man metaphor quite often with my clients. Is this somebody else's energy blocking here? Well, get your color, which we've already determined is loving and comfortable and accepting, and then I have it come into that energy and clump it up, transform it into itself. Love will always transform. Thing is to allow it to transform. So you may want to take a look at what is the benefit to hang on to the pain or the blame. What is the benefit? And people say, oh, I have no benefit. Well, then how come you haven't let it go? So I know that as you let it go, I can be thankful for the loving energy to know that you are radiant with love for yourself, and it radiates out. No blame, no pain, just knowing we screwed up again. But in the love, there's only forgiveness. And the major key is we must forgive ourselves. That's the hardest part. It's easy sometimes to forgive another, but the real value of forgiveness is self. Forgive you. We always do the best we can. And when we don't, we have to forgive ourselves for that. And by connecting to that universal love force, it will give you the power to forgive yourself, because it will take the pain, it will take the hurt, it will take the blame, and it will transform it into its own loving beingness. And so I give thanks, and knowing this can be for you. And that's called freedom. Freedom to be you. When you do have freedom to be you, your brother will have freedom to also be himself. But you can't make anybody feel, think, or be anything other than what they are. And sometimes people hang on to their stuff longer than others. But you will have an opportunity doing that light, looking for the love in the light, bringing it in. You will also be saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, and knowing that you have been transformed. So thank you. I look forward to hearing how that works for you. And so once more, our week has come to an end. I just want to thank you for some people saying the comments. I appreciate that. Some people more have subscribed. Thank you for that. Thank you for everything. By coming on Monday nights, by listening to me on Wednesdays, which you can do anytime, and by also a Sunday thought. I get lots of comments on my Sunday thoughts, and I appreciate that. I know how to reply really easily, so I reply to most comments. Until next Monday, remember, you are loved beyond measure. So open yourself up to allow that love in, and you can use the color. It works. And you, just know that it all works. If you need to contact me personally through my website, normacowie.com. Just email me. Lots of blessings. Bye now.